Most golfers don't realize that this is the key to effortless power. Here's the thing. There are a couple of main thoughts that people try and do when it comes to the golf swing. Wanting to get more speed and power, and the other one is trying to have a smooth tempo. But there's a challenge of trying to balance those out. What I mean is, we want more speed, right? All golfers want to have more speed, more power. But the way we try and do that often screws everything up, because a better sequence, a smoother sequence, delivers more speed and power 99% of the time over actually trying to swing faster. If I said to you to swing faster, there's two things that are going to happen. One, you're going to swing faster going back, or you're going to swing faster moving down. You think that, well, that's going to work, that's going to give me more power. But what screws most golfers up, and I wager that's the case for you, especially if you don't have the athleticism, the mobility that you used to use. Because there's an important thing that people forget. It's not just about the generation of speed. It's about how we absorb it and the change of direction. And that's where the transition comes in. If you try and create a nice golf swing and you make a slow backswing, what will happen is you'll tend to snatch it from the top. So we'll get to the top and then we'll snatch, trying to swing faster. But what that does, that snatchiness, that jerk, often sends our arms over the top and we spin out of it and you're like, crap, why am I slicing? But you're like, well, I'm trying to swing slow and smooth. You might be slow and smooth going back, but you snatch from the top. Likewise, if you swing too fast going back, so you can move through the ball quicker in that transition, as I mentioned, we don't have that athleticism that we once had, potentially. And we don't have the ability, the mobility, the strength to be able to absorb that speed going back, to transfer and create the sequence that we want to be able to deliver that power. So we end up almost wasting that power and kind of quitting a little bit because we've wasted our energy and we can't stop it and move it back towards the ball quick enough. If either of those things sound familiar, you are not alone, because that is most golfers are struggling with day in, day out. So what's the fix? The truth is in the transition. And the beauty of what I'm going to get you to do is it's so simple and it will make sense and you will hit the ball consistently better and further with less effort. All of these good things, right? There's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all with this. I just want to nudge you in the right direction. Let's say you pick up an 8-iron. I want you to take a decent practice swing. You don't even have to hit a ball. And I want you to count in your mind the tempo that you're doing on the way back, okay? The tempo that we're always kind of looking for is about 3-to-1. That's the sort of approximate ratio. So if we're making it really simple, it's not quite this, but we're going to go 3 seconds back. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Okay, something like that. 3-to-1 ratio, just for the whole generation of the swing, for the backswing to downswing. But I want us to emphasize a little bit more on that transition. I'm not asking you to pause. I'm asking you to notice the sensations, the feeling of that change of direction, to give yourself more time, because that time is so precious to be able to give you the sequence, the confidence to be able to change direction, to be able to absorb the change, the movement back to the ball. Remind yourself what you're trying to do. All we're trying to do is hit this stupid little club back at the golf ball. It's not about closing our eyes and trying to swing as fast as possible. It's a very simple task, but we have to give ourselves that fraction of time. We don't want to create too much time, as I said, going back, that's going to cause us to snatch it. So this is where it's almost like a holistic challenge for you to try and find the best tempo and that time for you. So as we just do some smooth swings, I want you to feel like a gradual change of direction that's smooth. It almost feels like you've got all the time in the world to swing through and gather the weight of the club. A little cue that might help you find this transition time is the sensation of the arms feeling heavy, okay? We're very conscious of the weight of the club, the arms feeling heavy. So as I come to a stop, if you will, about 3/4, halfway back, I'm noticing that slowing down, applying the brakes, but I'm making that intention to move back towards the ball very, very smoothly. Almost imagine those swing clips you see of the tour players in slow motion. When you see them here and then they're transitioning down, rotating, then the club back to the ball. Whoever's swing you admire, whatever it is, I don't care. I just want you to have an intention of smooth transition back towards the ball. So do some swings and almost try a Goldilocks, I would suggest. Some of them are going to be faster, backswing, and you'll start to notice that doesn't quite feel right. Some of them are going to be slower. Doesn't quite feel right because it creates that snatchiness that I mentioned earlier. But if we have a feeling of just smooth transition to get that time, you get this wonderful like whoosh through the ball, but it's because you've gathered the energy. I'm feeling the energy wind up and move. I haven't given you any instructions about particular body movements here. This is all about you and what you're feeling, because the only task I want you to have is time in the transition. That change of direction. Absorb it, transfer it back, and start moving back towards the ball without rushing. Just smooth, and see the magic happen for how much further and better you strike your shots with a little less effort. There we have it, my friends. Try that out. It's going to work wonders with irons and drives every full swing. Practice it until you find your perfect transition timing. All right? Now, if you want definitely better, more accurate drives, this video is going to help you out a lot. And also check out our Blueprint program that's going to help you discover and train your perfect swing type. See you next time.